welcome. This is In the News. I'm your host, Keith Lander. And what's in the news today is the government shutdown. But before I start on there, I got to promote my old hometown, which is Dayton, Ohio. I love it here. It's a great place to live, great place to raise your children. Dayton, Ohio. If you haven't been to Dayton, Ohio in a while, stop past Dayton, Ohio. Look us up. I'm pretty sure you'll be surprised. And you may want to come and move and live here. So that's my promotion of Dayton. So the government shut down. Now, we got the Democrats saying one thing, and we got the Republicans saying another thing, and we got a whole bunch of people in the middle who's not getting paid, who's not working, and it's putting a hardship on those folks. Today, we're going to set the record straight. We're going to fact check these claims, by either side. And at the end of this show, you'll be able to make your decision is who's telling the truth and who's lying. Now, let's go with the first thing. The Democratic Party basically have requested an extension of the Enhanced Marketplace Premium Tax Credit. Now, that was first enacted in 2021, and it expires at the end of this year. And it's a reversal of they're trying to reverse the Medicaid and Marketplace health care cuts that was done in the Bill H.R. 1, or they call it the One Beautiful Big Bill Act. I call it the old ugly bill, which is what it is. Because what the Beautiful Bill Act does, it cuts Medicaid, it cuts the Affordable Care Act Marketplace, and it cuts some other health care measures. And what the Democratic Party is trying to do is to maintain these cuts to the Affordable Care Act, to Medicaid, to Medicare. That's what it comes down to. Now, I'm going to get to the other part. Now, the extension of the Enhanced Marketplace Premium Tax Credit would not benefit undocumented immigrants. All right? I want to make sure you understand that. Undocumented immigrants do not and cannot receive any of the programs which are paid by the federal government, healthcare program. That's the American Health Care Act, that's the Medicaid and Medicare, that's SNAP benefits, all right? Undocumented immigrants cannot receive any of those benefits, all right? That's already a law. That's a federal law right now. So any Republican out there saying that the Democrats want to give free health care to undocumented immigrants, that's a lie, because it's already a law in place to prevent that. Now, let's go on to something that J.D. Vance said, and I'll read it verbatim. I don't know if we can find that clip, but we'll try to find the clip, and we'll roll that clip, and I'll be quiet for a couple seconds, so if we do have a clip, you can hear it.
About illegal alien benefits. Look, the text is very clear, and I even saw, I think it was George Stephanopoulos in an interview with Mike Johnson, did a fact check that was totally rooted in baseless claims. It was basically Democrat propaganda. If you look at the legislative text that they gave us, they tried to turn on two separate provisions that would give health care benefits to illegal aliens. Number one, if you're an American citizen, you've been to a hospital in the last few years, you probably noticed that wait times are especially large, and very often somebody who's there in the emergency room waiting is an illegal alien, very often a person who can't even speak English. Why do those people get health care benefits at hospitals paid for by American citizens?
Okay, so here's what J.D. Vance said. I'll reiterate. He said, if you're an American citizen and you've been into the hospital the last few years, you probably noticed that the wait times are especially large, and very often somebody who's in there in ER is an illegal alien. Why do those people get health care benefits at the hospital paid for by American citizens? Now, I'm going to answer that question for you, J.D. Vance. It's because Ronald Reagan signed into law the requirement that emergencies departments must treat everyone, no matter what their status. That's the law. Ronald Reagan signed the law that emergency rooms must treat everyone regardless of their status. That's why you see some folks in the ER. All right? So J.D. Vance, that's your answer to your question. All you Republicans out there talking about all these illegals and getting all this medical. No, they're not. Some of them go to emergency care because it's life or death. All right. So I guess you Republicans, you don't want these people going to the emergency for life and death. You just want them down the street, I guess, huh? That's the kind of country you live in now, where a person who don't have the paperwork and they're in process of getting paperwork to be a citizen, they go to the hospital. You want them to die? Is that it? Ronald Reagan didn't want them to die. Go look that up. Now, there is a such thing as emergency Medicaid, and that falls under that bill that Ronald Reagan signed. You don't hear Republicans trying to repeal the bill that the law that Ronald Reagan put in place, right? You don't hear them saying that. That's where it comes in at, emergency Medicaid. Because some of these hospitals, when these people go there and get treated and don't have no money, don't have no insurance or wherewithal to pay for it, it comes out of the state's budget and the state reimburse the hospitals. You got it? So, we can stop saying that nonsense. And the other thing is, you know how much, in 2023, the federal government spent $2.8 billion on emergency Medicaid. You know what percentage of that, of the Medicaid spending, according to the Congressional Budget Office? It's less than 1%. So the Republican Party is holding up to open up the government because they are mad because less than 1% of Medicaid spending goes to emergency Medicaid. This is by the Congressional Budget Office. Less than 1%. And Republicans are holding and shutting down the government. Can you believe that? That's the fact. You can look it up if you want to, folks. That is a fact. And if I'm wrong, you send me a email. You send me something. Send me an email, telegram, phone call, something, and say I'm wrong. Prove me that I'm wrong. Less than 1% of the budget of Medicaid goes to that emergency funding, and Republican parties are going to hang their hat on the fact that they're so against people receiving tax breaks for Affordable Care Act, people receiving Medicaid and Medicare, that they'd rather shut it down and hurt all these people. And if they do what the Republicans do, what they want to do, which is cut out all these programs, everybody's insurance is going to go through the roof. Everybody's. And matter of fact, this is the open enrollment period in November. It's coming up. So something has to be done quick, because otherwise, when you get your bill, when you start looking up these plans, these insurance companies are planning that these tax breaks may not be around. And so they're figuring that into their premiums. And I tell you, you're going to get a sticker shock when you go on that site. I can tell you that. But the Republican Party, they passed the tax breaks for the wealthy. They get their tax break permanently. But you poor folk, y'all don't get jack. Nothing. Get on out of here. You get the government shut down, and they don't give a damn if y'all get back to work or not. They don't care if you take care of your family or not. Their family's taken care of. What happened to America First? Is it America First only if you got a millionaire and billionaires? The rest of y'all last or don't even come into the conversation. Let me move on, folks. This is what Donald Trump said about the shutdown. In 2011, Donald Trump, this is his own words, I actually think that the president would be to blame for a shutdown. That's what he said. I'm pretty sure we can find that tape. I'm going to let the tape roll so you hear it out of Donald Trump's mouth right now.
In my opinion, I hear the Democrats are going to be blamed and the Republicans are going to be blamed. I actually think the president would be blamed. If there is a shutdown, and it's not going to be a horrible shutdown because, as you know, things will sort of keep
Well, it was a partial shutdown, right?
If there is a shutdown, I think it would be a tremendously negative mark on the president of the United States. He's the one that has to get people together.
Right.
I'm a deal man. I made hundreds and hundreds of deals and transactions.
So, you heard what the man said. This is Donald Trump speaking in 2011. Now, he said, in my opinion, I hear the Democrats are going to be blamed. I hear the Republicans are going to be blamed. I actually think the president would be blamed, he said. If there is a shutdown, I think it would be a tremendously negative mark on the president of the United States. Now, this is the first time, and probably the only time, you hear me say, I agree with Donald Trump. It's on you, Donald Trump. What are you going to do? You're supposed to be this big negotiator. I don't know how you're going to be a big negotiator. You ain't never negotiated anything that came out in the positive. So here we are, folks. The government is shut down. Republican Party is running around talking about the Democrats want to give free health care to undocumented immigrants or illegal aliens, as they say. And I just told you that is a flat out lie. So Speaker Mike Johnson, you run around lying. The rest of the folks in the Republican Party, they're lying. Donald Trump is lying. Who's buying this nonsense? This is a total lie. Every time the Republicans open their mouth and say this lie, usually the reporter comes back and say, that's a lie. But it don't stop them. They just keep on going. It's a lie, folks. They shut down the government. The Republican Party shut down the government, caused all these heartaches for a lie. The midterms are coming up, 2026, people. And if we don't get out there and vote some people in office that truly, really cares about us constituents, and not only just the rich and the powerful, but also those in the middle and those on the other end, the poor. We have to start electing people that's going to put the people first. Because right now, we have Republican Party is putting Donald Trump first, and Donald Trump is putting all his billionaires and millionaires first, and he's saying the hell with the rest of y'all. Y'all voted this man in. He said he's going to lower gas prices. Donald Trump, y'all voted him in. Said he's going to lower gas prices on day one. Has it happened? No. Said he's going to lower grocery prices. Day one. Has it happened? No. Said he's going to end all these wars. Have they happened? No. Have your prescription prices been lowered? No. Have your health care been lowered? It has been lowered, and you know why it's lower? Because President Obama passed the Affordable Health Care Act, and it lowered your premiums. Republican Party want to erase that out and raise up your premiums. That's what you're looking at. So next time you see them on TV, all the Republicans talking about they want to give illegals health care, free health care, turn your TV off because you know they're lying. And when it's their turn to be up for election, remember that lie that caused all this heartache for nothing. You got it? That's the facts. So, I'm going to close with that. And if you missed anything in this video, rewind it and watch it again. It's not that long. These are the facts. Plain and simple. Now, I'm not over intellectualizing it. I'm putting it where everybody can understand what's going on. And I don't have no game to play. Maybe the Republican Party, they got games to play. You don't play games with people's lives. And that's what the Republican Party is doing. They're playing games with people's lives, and it's having a negative impact on the American people. Remember that in 2026. The midterms are coming. All right? So, next time, may God bless you and your family.